You know, the Windows Start menu has been through a lot of changes over the years. And let's be honest, the latest one in Windows 11 isn't exactly everyone's favorite. But what if you could take back control? Well, today, we're going to dive into the best alternative Start menus to help you build the desktop you actually want.
So, you made the jump to Windows 11, but that new Start menu, it just feels a little off, doesn't it? If that sounds familiar, trust me, you are not alone. So many people are looking for a way to get that classic feel back or just find something that works better for them. And this right here, this really hits the nail on the head. On the left, you've got the new Windows 11 style. It's centered, all about icons, and filled with recommended files you might not care about. Then on the right, you have that classic style, left aligned with a clean, simple, searchable list of your programs. If you're looking at the right side thinking, yes, that's what I want, then you are definitely in the right place.
Okay, let's kick things off with the big guns, the premium options. Now, these are paid apps, but for that price, you get the absolute deepest level of customization and polish. This is for when you want total control over your experience.
Our first contender is a real heavy hitter, Start 11. It's from a company called Stardock, and these guys have been in the Windows customization game since the early 90s. So yeah, it's safe to say they really know their stuff.
Start 11 just gives you an incredible amount of power. You can finally shove that Start button back to the left where it belongs, resize the taskbar, and totally overhaul the layout and colors. Its search is so good, it can even find your open browser tabs, which is a huge time saver, and yeah, it lets you finally get rid of that recommended section for good.
There's a reason people often call this one the gold standard. And the best part? It comes with a 30-day trial, so you have plenty of time to see if it's really worth it for your setup.
Next up, for all of you out there who are really missing a certain era of Windows, let's talk about Start All Back. Start All Back is all about bringing back that glorious classic Windows 7 look and feel. But it does more than that. You can use your own custom icons, split up your taskbar into segments so you're not wasting space, and even add cool animations. It also claims to be a bit lighter on your system's resources, which is a nice little bonus, especially for older machines.
So, if you want that classic vibe but with some serious power to make it your own with bold customizations, this is your ticket. And hey, just like Start 11, it also has a 30-day trial so you can test it out completely risk-free.
Okay, what if you don't want to spend a dime? Good news, we're now diving into the free options. These apps are perfect if you're just looking to bring back a classic design. Think of this as a little trip down memory lane for your desktop. First up in our free category is a really interesting one, Start Menu Reviver. Now this tool was actually born out of that, let's just call it the controversial Windows 8 era and its full-screen Start experience. What's so cool about this one is how it mixes things up. It takes those tile-based designs from Windows 8, but it puts them inside a more traditional pop-up menu. This design is actually fantastic for touchscreens. You can customize up to 32 tiles for apps, websites, whatever you want. And yep, it is 100% free. So look, if you're using a Windows tablet or one of those 2-in-1 laptops, you have to check this one out. It really is a great touch-friendly alternative to what you normally get. But maybe you're thinking, no tiles, no modern stuff, I want the real classic experience. Well, for all you purists out there, we have OpenShell. With this one, you can literally turn back the clock on your desktop. OpenShell lets you pick styles from the Windows 95 single-column menu all the way up to the 2-column Windows 7 menu. The settings are incredibly deep, and best of all, it's totally free and open source, which means it's maintained by the community. You can really feel the philosophy behind this one. It's a project made by users, for users who just loved the way older Windows worked. It's free, it's open source, and it's fully compatible with Windows 11. All right, our last category. This one's for the adventurers, the power users, the people who aren't afraid to get their hands dirty and tweak the very soul of the Windows interface. And that tool is called Explore Patcher. And let me be clear, this is less of an app and more of a full-on customization toolkit for the entire Windows UI. So its main job to make Windows 11 feel just like Windows 10 again. It brings back that expandable Start menu and gets rid of the recommended section. It's powerful and it's free, but, and this is a big but, there's a pretty significant catch. It's not as well supported as the others.
Because it digs so deep into Windows, it has a history of being broken by official Windows updates. It's an amazing tool for sure, but you're definitely taking on more risk with this one compared to the others.
Okay, let's pull this all together for a quick summary. If you want total, polished control and you don't mind paying, Start 11 and Start All Back are your go-to options. For a unique, free, touch-friendly experience, check out Start Menu Reviver. For that pure classic nostalgia, OpenShell is the purest choice. And for the power users who want Windows 10 back, Explorer Patcher is the tool, as long as you accept the risks.
Okay, before you get all excited and start downloading, we need to have a quick but very important chat about caution.
Look, you have to remember, none of this stuff is officially supported by Microsoft. What does that mean? Well, bugs can happen. A future Windows update could totally break them. So, the #1 golden rule before you install any of these is super simple. Please, please, please back up your PC first.
But with that little warning out of the way, these tools really do give you an incredible amount of freedom. They let you stop just accepting the default and start building an experience that is perfectly and truly yours. So it all comes down to one simple question. What does your perfect desktop look like?